Uh, uh, all right, all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome today to the Global Healing Miracle Experiment. I'm Dr. 𝗬𝗙𝗧 Rogers, author of the book Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer, and a Western skeptic and Eastern master and life's greatest secrets, opening quote, which is so pertinent today more than ever, as I didn't come to teach you, I came to love you. Love will teach you. It was just the third year anniversary celebration of the publishing of the book, along with the Ancient Secrets Unstoppable celebration in Sedona, Arizona. Yeah, so fun to see so many people on the call that were finally meeting live for the first time and giving hugs. I just want you to unmute yourself if you were there live and just say to everyone who wasn't there, physically, you definitely were there in our hearts, but we're going to just say, we love you and we're with you. So just, if you were there live, just unmute yourself. And everyone who wasn't physically with us, we just have this very special message for you.
I love you.
Love you and I miss you.
Love you and I'm with
I'm
you.
with you.
Right here. Or I was right here connecting with audio.
That's so fun. Thank you for that. We had so many powerful things happen, including the book launch of Larry's book, The Philosopher's Wrench, and then the book launch of Denny's book, Love is the Only Truth. We had some moments that we shared with everyone else on Facebook Live, which is basically anyone sharing their passion project. One of the things Dr. Naram taught me is that part of the path, not just of healing, but of discovering your life's purpose, is asking yourself the question, what do you want? 4-word question that's so transformative. And it's fun because it's also integrated into some of the Marma Shakti experiences. Cornelia, so fun that you're co-hosting this call, and Carol, Ray, and Jana, and Gary. We got some music, and oh my goodness, it was so fun to give Michelle Gamba a hug for the first time. It was so fun to see Luke. I don't know if you guys knew this. We all know Luke has got a very deep spiritual nature as Bodhidharma and always helping the homeless. But man, he broke out. I don't know, Luke, if you'd be willing to do your rap on this call. You're not, I don't know, it's so surprising. It was just his birthday yesterday, but he created an Ancient Secrets rap that was just awesome. It was so fun. And the talent, we had a talent show. The talent in this community is off the charts. I was combined of laughing and crying. I was a mess the whole talent show because just so beautiful, everything that was happening, you know. Beverly, oh, so beautiful to see her, not just on the screen, but in Nepal with the orphan kids, and then at this celebration in which we ended up, basically it was a fundraiser for them. And it was so fun to just see her bring all the hugs that she got from the orphan kids and give it to so many people. It was really beautiful. And Renee and Larry, oh my goodness. And then Shifra breaking out some new poetry, coming all the way from Boston and inspiring us with her gifts, her wordsmithing gifts. Susan and Joseph, wow, just guiding in such a beautiful way and hosting and emceeing the whole thing. Actually, Joseph and Susan, you just want to just drop in for a moment, and I don't know if there's any special gratitude you want to speak or anything you want to share in kind of retrospect or follow up to the event.
Yeah, so much so. It couldn't have happened without everyone that was there and everybody that wasn't there holding space and love for us. It was an experience unlike anything I've ever had. The vibration of love was so high that I feel personally transformed by it and so on fire to take this experience to the world. I think that we as our core community and, you know, whoever wants to, we can teach the world, show the world, love the world in how to love and what it means to love. And so I know each and every person there was inspired and opened and I believe transformed. I just have to give a special shout out to Gary, who carried us in the music and opening our hearts and just guiding us with such beautiful words and an energy which, you know, I think many of us are still singing. So thank you, Gary. Thank you.
Gary, I think of that or feel that as the carrier wave.
You know, you were just underneath everything, belonging us, elevating the vibration and taking us all into our hearts. And, you know, the vibration there was, I think, very, very unique. And I'm saying that because of the feedback that we got from people who are presenters in workshops around the world, people who are in Sedona, people who go to the Creative Life Center. Every single person said this was the highest vibration of any experience like this, and it's the community that created that. It was
All of us.
it was the intention of Clint with, where is love going to take you, and what are we going to take home because of the love that we experienced? And I can tell you that personally, I continue to incorporate and grow and expand, and my vibration has been lifted, and I have shed some skin and some trash that sorry to leave it in Sedona, but I'm sure it'll get taken care of.
Yeah.
Real gift and honor for us to help out with this. And thank you. And thank you, community. And love you. And we're with you. And it's a community in which we can heal, and we are healing, and it will go out and it will heal the world.
Oh, so powerful. Big thank you. Yeah, a big thank you to Joseph, Susan, Andrea, and the whole team. You know, the other thing that's so remarkable is the whole event was put together with so much love and care by basically everyone was volunteering. We've never done it before. We were doing something we'd never done, stepping into a space just with the faith of, okay, we've never done this, but it feels good, and let's move into the unknown. And now in retrospect, just feeling like, wow, you know, and even if you weren't there, there's no need to feel like you missed out, actually, because that vibration is going to be carrying forth. My dad would always say to me, he's like, Clint, if this something is good for you, it can't be bad for us, you know? And actually, because I feel like we're all interwoven in a way. Like there's something that, you know, when the opening quote, opening sentence in the book is, you're led to this book for a reason. And I believe you and I are connected. And for some reason that we're here now in this space for some sacred purpose or some special reason, that basically love is one of the most powerful forces in you. Never underestimate what it can do. I love that the committee and those in charge just named it the Unstoppable Love Celebration. That was so cool. It's like such a beautiful way to describe, you know, the potential of stepping into that space. And 𝗬𝗙𝗙𝗪𝗏 and Grazi came, and Jerem. It was so fun to meet Nell in person and give her a big hug. And Aaron and Heidi and Marissa and Ava were there, and Ariana and Esther Francis, and our new friends, Marty and Sherilyn just opening up like a flower and letting us enjoy her fragrance. And she did her soul song with Gary leading, and Linda Rousseau showing up, and Esther Wolkowitz leading the silent auction in such a beautiful way. So many that didn't come, your artwork was there, your expression was there. And it was such a beautiful way to celebrate you. And Anna Wilkinson was there, and man, it was there's everyone, whether you were physically there or not, so much there with us in our hearts. It was just a celebration of how love has guided us, and the miracle of, in the last 3 years, which were for some people the most dark and difficult time of their lives on this planet, we're celebrating like almost a nonstop cascade of miracles that have happened, you know. And it was just such a beautiful contrast of what's possible, you know, when you step into that vibration of love and in the space of applying some of the ancient secrets and focusing on what you want. Anyone else, just kind of popcorn style, anyone else particular, especially for those that weren't there physically, but you were there and you just have something you want to share about, something that shifted in you, or some insight, something love taught you that could benefit everyone else. I just want to give open for a couple people to share. And then on today's call, we're talking about, okay, wow, we just had this amazing community experience. So what's an idea for a new community structure moving forward using these ancient secrets, but in a way that can be adapted for all the changes that are likely going to happen on this planet, a way that we can really feel like we belong and go deeper and the path that we're here to do individually and also collectively. So we have that coming, but just right now, I just want to hear a few people share. What did love teach you? What shifted in you in that space?
It taught me like that. One thing was that I could learn from my mistakes, because there were a series of, some difficult things on my journey there. And while I was there, it taught me that I could trust my heart, even though I had a lot of fear coming into it. And it taught me that, like, just when we looked into people's eyes, I just felt like you see something that you don't usually see. And I don't know, it taught me to love myself in a different way. And it taught me, I don't know, just to not be so governed by fear. And I don't know, it was just absolutely life. I can't tell you how much it meant to me. It's just beyond anything you could imagine. And also, like, while I was sad to leave, I could leave and then come back and like I was on my Buddhist call, and I could tell every person there that I love them and appreciate them. And it was sincere. And this person I've been having so much trouble with, I said I was sorry for something, and she was like, "No, I apologize to you." It feels like, and what I love is, yes, we can be in this high vibration and we can take that to the world. It's not just a selfish, I'm going to go live in a castle somewhere and have a great life, but I don't care. It's like we can take this to the whole world. I can live a high vibration, and we can all take this in our own individual ways and shift this, and this stuff that's happening around us. And I don't know, it just was incredible. I felt like my parents were there. Even my father was like right beside me, even though we had such a difficult relationship. And I had been in that area, he took me there many, many years ago. And I felt like I understood some of the trauma in a different way than I ever did. I just don't have words. So. Oh
my goodness. I just want to say, who feels like, is this the same person that we heard on the call 2 months ago? Like, to hear you speak, Shifra, I don't know whether I want to smile or cry with joy, because I can just feel and hear in your voice and your presence a different level of embodiedness and groundedness, and you feel solid. You feel solid in yourself, and you understand that you're worthy of love and of life. And oh my goodness, that is so beautiful. Anyone else feel that? Just raise your hand if you feel just total different experience as she speaks, rather than, oh my goodness. And Shifra, I want to say that you did this. You did this.
I know.
By speaking with courage your fears and your pain and the truth of your heart in each moment.
Right.
And this moment is as sacred as the first moment you came on, and as sacred as when you're on the streets of Boston reading your poetry to raise enough money to come to Sedona, and we got to surprise you and hug you in that space. And as sacred as when you wrote Don't Wait, and Jack Canfield shows up at the call to say, I want your poem in my book. And so your voice is going to be heard. And wow, Shifra, I really felt that groundedness as you spoke. So thank you for saying yes to your highest and best expression of you, and giving us all the gift of witnessing you on the journey, and allowing all those parts of us that resonate with those parts of you to also heal at the same time. It's like the best part of community. And also Casey and Lucci and all the people who helped, just support in that space. Yeah, Michelle. Yeah. Thank you. This is like the perfect, most beautiful expression of community. And then what you said at the beginning about, I learned that I can learn love taught me that I can learn from my mistakes. That's so beautiful. I know that both Joseph and I had both experiences with each other where that was it. We got to learn, and in that sacred space say, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You know, and the Ho'oponopono prayer, I'm sorry, please forgive me.
Right.
Thank you, I love you. It's like those 4 phrases in
Right.
community is so sacred. So Shifra, thank you so much. I want to hear from a couple other people, and then I want to talk about the Pulse Clinic with Dr. Giovanni. And Bo, I'm going to come to you in a second. I'm so happy that you're here. Ariana, you want to share something about your experience, what love taught you?
Yeah, I'd love to. So one of the things that came up when I was there was I noticed I went back to being a child and not feeling like I really belonged. And so that sense of belongingness, I just had to look at the block I had with that. And my parents were a lot older. For the first 5 years of my life, there were no people around me, no kids. And so my first day in kindergarten was like horrifying, right? I mean, I guess it is for most people, but I couldn't relate. And that sense of not belonging and not being able to relate, you know, manifested in different ways throughout my life. And so I was just looking at that, and I had such a healing with that. And at one point, Joseph and I had a great interaction, and, you know, it was like, you know what? I'm just so done with that feeling. I am just letting that one go. You know, that one is just gone. And I just felt such a healing with that, and such a healing and a true sense of belonging. And, you know, that was just beautiful. Yeah. And it just was a healing, you know? And so, yeah, I just feel like I totally belong, and it's really wonderful. So thank you. Thank you. Thank everybody. You know, it's just a beautiful event. Beautiful. Yeah.
I just want to see a raise of hands real quick. Who feels at some point in time in your life that you didn't belong? Maybe that you didn't belong on the planet, you didn't belong to whatever you're with. Like, it's a very common feeling, especially for this kind of group. And it's something actually I want to celebrate, because it means that we get to co-create a place that we do belong.
Yeah.
You know, it was really beautiful, because when I was keynoting you know, there's 2 keynotes at the conference that was right beforehand called the Crying Summer of Light Love Connection. And one woman came up to me and she said, you know, I've been on your Sunday calls. And she was all excited, but also really honest. She said, you know, the first time I came on the calls, it was too much for me. It was too much love. I couldn't handle it. And I couldn't integrate it. It was too much. She's like, but I had enough courage or faith to do the detox, and then to join the 100-day experience, 100-day experience in ancient secrets. She says, after that, with the toxins gone from my body, she's like, I'm so happy that I can say now I can be in the space of love, and I can be there. I can belong in the space of love. Oh, I just loved hearing that. And she just wanted to celebrate with me, like, the journey of that. So beautiful, Ariana. Also Monica a few weeks ago on the call, and just acknowledging her again, you know, talking about when she didn't know she was adopted until she was 13 years. She always felt like I know I didn't quite belong, but I didn't know I was adopted until I was 13. And then just growing up and all the things that happened. And then she said that as a process of doing the miracle experiment game and then the detox and so many things, she said she finally felt at home in her body. And then in the community, finally could accept love and give love in a way that she says, I felt like I belong for the first time. It's so beautiful. Makes me so happy. Such an unexpected joy, you know. Devananda, who's this beautiful furry friend in your camera right now?
This is Mila, my cat.
Oh, Mila's just so attentive, just looking at everything with such curiosity. It's so beautiful.
She's in between me and the computer. She can't stop it. She's enjoying the call too.
Oh, giving you kisses. I love, Devananda, you brought your kids. You know, I love that you and Grazi brought Briza, Noah, and Jonas. It was so fun to have kids there. You know, Jody Curtis brought her daughter, and also having Ava there. And that actually brought me even more of the innocence as well of the experience that we're having, that we can tap more into that. I want everyone who is there just in the chat, and Devananda, I want you to share, but everyone in the chat, just if you were at the event, what is one thing that love taught you that shifted something in you? And if you weren't there, then what did love teach you? Like, I know I'm just looking at some of the faces of people who weren't there, and I love seeing you on the call, Katie and Randy. I love seeing you, Charlotte. Oh my goodness. And Siobhan and Alex, I'm so happy that you're here, and Judy Lamar and Raven and Lynn. I just want to hear from you, Eliza and Harvey and Nehemiah. All of you are so much in our hearts. Jane, was so fun to have you there. Nushrat, you were so much in my heart. I was so happy to have the French book and give it to people that were so excited to have it. In fact, one of the miracles that happened, and Susie Brighton sharing her gifts, so beautiful. And Karen Kellogg, yes, it's so fun to see you there. Last night I was speaking at a dinner salon, and it was beautiful to have Joseph and Susan and Jerem and Nell there. And I didn't even tell this to you guys, but as a result of being there, because the trick has been how to get the Russian book into Russia. Oh, David Corbin's on the call. Oh, brother, so good to see you here. Wow. So I shared about the miracle about how the Farsi book got into Iran, and the miracle about how the Turkish book got into Turkey. But I've been a little bit heartbroken. It was so fun. Oh, I don't know if that turned off my camera. So fun to have Renara and the whole community bring Renara to play this beautiful music. And she channeled something about healing the planet. And then the couple days after, this woman said that her aunt has one of the top publishers in Russia. And I brought with me to the event one Russian book. I don't know why, but just felt like it was for someone. And when she asked, "Do you have it in Russian?" I just pulled it out of my bag. I said, "This is for you, but I'm a little bit heartbroken that it's not in Russia." And she says, "Well, good news. It's actually her godmother has one of the top publishing companies in Russia that publishes these things." It's so exciting to see that miracle unfold. All right, so keep posting. And Jaina, if you can monitor the chat, I just want to hear a couple of those. But Devananda, anything that love taught you and your family as you were there?
Oh, Clint, so many things. I just want to say before I share this, that I keep getting impressed and learning so much with you, your power to knowledge everyone, and keep observing and transferring. You're like a hub of love. I really would like to learn more with you. I just want to say that because you're in a state like, you're an example, you're an idol, and you're, and my cat keep rubbing the computer here. That's why it's moving the screen. And I want to acknowledge you for all that you're doing, because you are always acknowledging everyone. And I want you to feel that we see you so much. We love you so much, man. Thank you so much for everything. You have changed so many people's lives doing what you're doing. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Devananda. I love you so much. And it's fun being in this space. Like, even I see Phil Johnson on the call, and I don't know, you weren't at the event, but I just feel so much love for you. I've never met you in person, but I'm just like, I love this man. It's so fun to be in that space of, it's like a curiosity of unwrapping a gift to each person that we meet, knowing that we have something to give and something to gain and something to create together. So thank you, Devananda. Anything in particular, any insight, like one insight that you feel like, this is going to change my life, or this will shift my experience
from the event? Can I share from that?
Yeah.
One thing, I shared a couple of things on that chat on the WhatsApp, because there's so many things coming back to me. Oh my God, when I left. And one thing was the night that Gary was doing the process with Sherilyn and trusting the inner voice. That was so powerful to me. There was a moment of I don't know, how can I describe Gary? You're being a father, a God, a lover. Like the process of doing it was like I was seeing one soul pushing and giving that push to the other soul, like I was seeing us as what the exercise we were doing with people there. It started with Sherilyn, but that was so beautiful, so powerful to me. I can only sense the essence that what was going on in there. And then to put the cherry on top, it finished with everybody singing around the piano, which I told Gary, since I left Brazil 27 years ago, I was raised, my dad was always playing piano during the weekends. And I missed so much and never had an opportunity to have that again. And when everybody was around the piano and he was playing with so much passion, that moment was very special to me because it was a family gathering around that piano. And that night was like unforgettable. Thank you so much, Gary. That was like, I couldn't even like enjoy so much because I was overwhelmed. Is this really happening? I'm really feeling this. I'm feeling this. We are all a family around this piano here. And this is singing so loud in my heart. It was beautiful. Thank you, Gary. It was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that. Is my favorite thing when we surround ourselves around the piano, and that's why I kept on saying, don't block the people that aren't around the piano, that are in the chairs, because we don't want to leave anyone out, you know. So yeah, thank you, Devananda. That was just such a great moment, and I loved it too.
Yeah, it's like something primal in us to gather in a circle around a fire and share stories and song. You know, it's like something innate in us, and when we do that, we feel like we belong in a way. And Gary, you gave us that gift. Sherilyn, just because Devananda mentioned you, can you unmute yourself? What did love? How did anything? Because it's interesting. You didn't even know the event existed until probably like 3 or 4 days before, 5 days before, you know. And then you're there, and then just had the courage to just step in the unknown, you know, and bless us all for your journey. Anything in particular you feel like love taught you during that experience that will change you?
Well, thank you. I feel honored to be invited to speak with all these people from all over the place. It's still pretty overwhelming, honestly, like what that whole experience was. And what I first gathered, I had to say, Dr. Clint, is when I saw you speak at 𝗂𝗓𝗏, I knew I ended up at 𝗂𝗓𝗏 so that I could be at this event. I know. So when I followed my feet, when I was listening to my inner voice at the beginning, it was like, yeah, okay, well, first it was Marty. She's like, hey, let's do this thing in Sedona. And I'm like, yeah. And then we saw you speak, and we're like, oh, yeah, we gotta like we're supposed to know more about this situation. And holy cow, like I feel so blessed that I was able to do that and be a part of this amazing experience. What love taught me, this is Ali, this is my son, my 9-year-old.
Oh, hey, Ali.
And what some people don't understand or know about me is that my journey is kind of interesting, but I was married to their dad for a little bit, and he's African and Muslim, which was not part of what my religion was. And so my journey has been very interesting, but my inner voice taught me that it is possible to raise the vibration of humanity. And it started in that weekend, in that room, in that sacred space where we were all looking at each other's eyes and seeing each other's purpose, their divine. And it's possible to do more. It's possible to raise it higher. And I am so grateful and so appreciative. Thank you for letting me be a part of that space and for hosting this right at that time. Nothing's on accident. I believe that the creator is very purposeful in what he does and the way things happen. And yes, I believe we get to make choices, but holy cow, am I glad I made the choice to be a part of whatever this thing is that's developing so magically. It's amazing. So thank you.
So beautiful. Thank you, Sherilyn. So cool, because you were guided by love, clearly. You know, you're guided by your heart, and then your mind figured it out later, you know, and still figuring out, what is this? I don't know exactly, but it feels good. I want 2 other people to share. I want to have someone share who wasn't there Eliza, actually,
But
because you're one of the core people that helped translate the Russian book, and I just am celebrating that moment. As you're, Eliza, I don't know if you'd be, Eliza, if you'd be willing to share, but just some reflection. As you hear these kind of things, what's happening inside of your heart, even though you weren't physically there present? Like, what is love teaching you?
I know Sedona is a very special place, and I think people who get to see it are very lucky and fortunate. And I'm pleased to know you went to this special place on the planet. My thought since we started this journey in 2020, I think I learned also from you, Clint, what love is. I realize, and also getting more mature and experiencing life. Love is not just, between a man and a woman and the love we think about that creates. It's so much more. It's a vibration of your heart. And as your heart grows, you feel it more, and to see what's the genuine love. And it can happen for no reason. It can be a feeling to a friend, a colleague. You just fall in love the first day you meet them at work, and you say, oh, I'm going to make a great friend with that colleague, and just follow your feeling and follow your intuition. It's a sort of love. Just, it shouldn't be a sign for any reason. It can happen all by itself. That's what I learned.
I love that. Aaron and Heidi shared such a powerful segment, and they're talking about the different forms of love, but I love what you're sharing. Love doesn't need a reason. Love doesn't need a reason, and it's not just between a man and a woman, and it's doesn't need a name. It can just spontaneously arise. I felt that feeling of love when I walked in the Pulse Clinic in Phoenix. So we had Pulse Clinics with Dr. 𝗬𝗙𝗓𝗓 in Sedona and in Phoenix. And I felt that love for this beautiful, amazing, powerful young man. And, when something is happening right, because we're here talking about community, a new community structure where you can really feel like you belong. And like it's something you want to belong to. And you want to belong because it helps us. And also we know that our gifts are received and wanted, and when you're doing something, because when other people that you're not associated with at all up until that moment, at least not consciously, feel that energy and reflect it back to you without you even saying anything. And Bo, can you unmute yourself? Bo, first of all, what's your age right now? I know you're probably ageless, 200,000 years old probably, but at least your chronological age in this life. 18. Amazing. Thank you. I asked Bo to come on this call just to share with you what he shared with us in that space of the Pulse Clinic. Bo, can you share some of your feelings, impressions, and some of the things you shared with us?
Yeah, I'd love to. First of all, I'm so honored to be here and with everyone. And it's just so beautiful what you guys have created, and that you're letting me in here, because I've struggled my whole life because of how deep I think to connect with others. And I mean, I've had a lot of friends, but I've only had a couple real friends that I feel like I could maintain a deep connection with, because it seems like a lot of people my age and just in general have relationships that are just surface level, but it's here we actually really care about each other, and it's just beautiful. I love it.
Bo, he just amazed all of us. The instant he walked into the clinic, imagine this amazing 18-year-old presence walking in and being like, whoa, the energy of this place is so great, that I wasn't there, but my Monica and others told me about just how engaging you were, Bo, and how present you were. And then when I walked in the room, instantly you just whoa, who are you? And then we just connected heart to heart. And in that moment, there was no time and space. There just was presence.
Yeah.
And then I overheard you talking to Cornelia about, wow, this is a beautiful community, a place where I feel like I'm finally home.
Yeah.
And tell me, when you said that, what does that mean to you, to feel like you're home? What does that feel like inside of you? What does that mean?
just with other humans that like have the same values and morals as me and that just want to do good, like a force of good on this world. Because there's a lot of evil, but it reminded me that there's a lot of other good people out there as well, and that humans are, I feel like, are mostly good, but we've just lost our old ways and our sense of touch and the presence. Because I've been working on myself, meditating a lot, and deleting social media, and I feel like anyone has the potential to achieve this level of mindfulness, but it just takes practice. And it's hard in this generation, especially because, all the technology and the YouTube and the influence. But it's like, once you get over that, I feel like we can reconnect as humans and the human race. And I have a lot of hope for the future too. So I don't know. I'm just kind of all over the place right now. But I was just drawn to you. Like, I could just tell that you were such a good guy, and I didn't even know, but my subconscious was like drawn. I was just drawn to all of you guys because of how cool you were, and just like how down to earth you guys were, and then judgment-free zone. Like, there was no judgment. No one thought they were better than everyone else. Like, it was all just humans talking. So it was awesome. Like, it was awesome.
Well, I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy to learn from you and learn with you. It's so fun. And from the stage, 𝗬𝗙𝗘𝗧𝗧𝗦's daughter, Kira, I don't know if she's here on the call right now, but she said, as we're talking about, basically we all feel like one family. She says, I think she's 11 now. She's like, when I was younger, she's talking about, when I was younger, I had a realization. She's like, I realized my mom has a mom, and my mom's mom has a mom, and it goes all the way back until the original mom. And she's like, that made me realize we're all actually part of just one big family with different last names. And she taught all of us in that space with just her beautiful inquiry. And I feel like you have stuff to teach us, Bo, and Kira, and Ava, and and Jonas, and Noah, and Riza. And the more that we can, and I loved in the event, Dr. Joseph said, there's a price to pay. Dr. Ram says there's a price to pay for everything, but the most important thing we need to pay is attention. And I think, Bo, you're paying such beautiful attention.
Thank you. I'm trying my best.
Yeah. Well, you're getting a lot of love in the chat. People are so happy you're here.
Thank you.
I know I saw a couple other people raise their hand. And just, is it okay, Bo, if you have some reflection about, just from other people, about what you shared?
Yeah, definitely. I'm always open to that.
All right. Let's go to Heidi. And then right after that, Gary, if you can cue up, what is the sound of feeling like you belong, and the sound of feeling like you're at home? Maybe you can drop us from our head to our heart, and then we really drop it in that space, and then we'll go into some conversation about, what can we do differently than we've done in the past, so that way that people feel like they really belong. What could be a new community structure that would support not just those who are here now, but those who will be led to this possibility from all over the world, from every language and nation, that just want to feel like, yeah, I want, my birthright is health and happiness and abundance, and I want to be led by love, and I want to feel like I'm home. So Heidi, and then Gary.
I just wanted to thank Bo for sharing and for, joining the call. I really do believe it's the kids that are holding this beautiful innocence and love. And at the end of the meditation that I shared in Sedona, I encouraged everybody to keep sharing their heart, because the others are out there. And if you don't shine and share your heart, how will they find you? And I just feel like this is this beautiful ripple that we're going to continue. As we shine our hearts, the others will find us, like Bo. And last night we shared The Wizard of Oz with Hazy and Nate. And the famous quote at the end, knowing that she was home all along, she fell into this dream, and she said, and you were there, and you were there. And I feel like that was Sedona. Gary, you were there, Cornelia, you were there. It's like waking up from this dream. And on a hike that I took one morning with Marissa and Ava, I was searching so hard for a heart rock. I collect them, and I like to go different places and bring back a heart rock from wherever I go, and I didn't find one. And yesterday, Aran and I and the kids went out back to the pool to swim, and there was a heart rock sitting right next to the lawn chair. And it's like, the love was here all along. You guys were just a reflection of that for me. You were all just these beautiful mirrors of love, and that it was always here. Thank you. Love taught me that it's always been here all along, and I do belong. And I belong with all of you, and this is home, and there's no place like home.
Dorothy had it right. So beautiful. Yeah, thank you so much. Edwina, so happy to see you on the call. I'm so happy you're there. 𝗬𝗙𝗪𝗓𝗬, your art was so much a part of what we did. And Barbara, I love seeing you here. Diane, so happy to give you a hug in person. And Anne and Rick, wow, you guys just continue to inspire me so much. Jeannie, it was so fun. We actually inaugurated more golden angels, and it was so fun. Hopefully, we'll announce them over a period of time. But how about I'm not going to be able to name everyone that's in my heart to name, but let's just drop into this beautiful space. And as I'm looking at your beautiful faces and just feeling like this reverberation of love, like I'm looking at you, David Corbin, and being like, wow. So David Corbin, can you unmute yourself and just in a few words or sentences, what you're feeling now in this moment, like what's being reflected in your heart in this moment?
Well, we've used that word love, and you know, I sort of feel it big time. I've known you for a bit. I've known Gary for a bit, and it was just really exciting for me to check in after having read the book and reflected and all. So what I'm feeling right now is it's just so comforting, rewarding, inspiring to see yet another magnificent community united around love, united around seeing and being, and as you say, paying attention to the feelings and just connecting at that deepest level. You know, may we all reverberate this love in each and every community that we're in. And I just see and feel the pulse of love just reverberating from each and every one of you.
So fun. I remember the picture you posted on Facebook that someone sent me of where you got stuck in, I think it was Mexico. And you had the copy of the book and you had some Cuban cigar or something like that.
Yeah, that's a Cuban cigar plus Dr. Naram, plus the wisdom within the book equals great happiness and success and peace and tranquility, even while going through I think it was a hurricane down in Mexico.
Yeah, such a good example of a 𝗬𝗙𝗖𝗏𝗏, treat the unexpected guest as the divine has met you. Oh, beautiful. Thank you for sharing, David. I really respect and honor you, and so happy to have you here witnessing and reflecting that for us and with us. You know, I feel like you're in my heart, even though we've only met physically once. I feel like you're part of my family, my soul family. And I'm grateful for you.
And Clint, you know, it's a real powerful connecting for me because Annette Reidenauer has been in this community for now the 100-day course, and Annette and David and I are partners in helping healthcare professionals and corporate people who are stressed out in under 8 minutes actually shift their state into a heart coherent and a much less stressful state in the Rejuvenation Station project that I'm honored to be David and Annette's partner. So to see David in this call, it's just another heartwarming experience of the rivers all converging into the great ocean of love. David, it's so beautiful to see you, my brother, and thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, it's so amazing how we're so interconnected. You know, what brought us each here, and just following, it's like pulling a string of triggering, you know, remembering, oh, this and then this and then this, and it's like it's like a string of love, a path of love that leads to the source, which, you know, probably none of us can track it all the way back, but like Bo, what brought him to the clinic, and then who told that person, and who told that person, who told that person, and as a result, then all of us are blessed by hearing Bo, you know, speak to us his beautiful presence in words. You know,
just if I had that kind of acceptance and recognition of love vibration at that age, I mean, my God, it's taken me 70 years to get where I am now, you know, and I have the perfect song for us, Clint.
Good. While Gary is presencing the song, I want everyone to be thinking. So thank you, everyone who posted in the chat. Thank you, everyone who's here. Thank you, everyone who came to Sedona. Thank you, everyone who sent love from your heart. We were sending love to you, even if you weren't physically there. As he's playing this song, I want you to be thinking about what does it mean to belong? And what kind of a community structure would you love to belong to? You know, you may not know the answer to that, but just have that inquiry, because we have some ideas, and it's a co-creation. And so we'll be just dropping into that right after the call for about 5-10 minutes, and then go into breakout rooms where everyone will have a chance to discuss this topic. And then we have basically a form. It's an application form where you can share those ideas about what comes to you. What does love teach you in that space? Because this is a co-creation, and it's something that we want to see it birthed in the most beautiful way possible. And your gifts and your insights and your wisdom that you bring into this space now will make a difference. And especially if we drop from our head to our heart, and that the ideas spring from what comes there. So Gary, over to you.
Well, I was hearing everybody speaking, and I didn't know exactly what to share, but then I heard a few phrases from everybody. And I just want you to look. This is the song that is the most important song in the musical that we're having a table reading in Mill Valley on June 25th. And there's a couple of lines, you know, like when we do this song, when you know how you negotiate your likeness, like if you're a celebrity, they have to negotiate giving permission for your likeness to be shared. Well, you guys, we take this to a whole different level. So when the song happens, there'll be these random sharings of your presence, right? So just understand that your presence carries with it the lineage of ancestors going back millions of years. And then in this moment, your eyes, your face, your love, your being is really saying yes to this moment, right? So I just put in the chat the lyrics, and there's a couple of lines that I wanted you to see. It's this feeling like, I say yes, this is how I live my life, right? I feel wonder everywhere. Was it always there? This is a song where I want a world where we all feel that we belong here, where we feel like we belong, right? So as this song happens, celebrate saying yes and belonging. And this is by me and my collaborative partner, 𝗬𝗓𝗏𝗏. I love sharing this song with you guys. This is the musical we're trying to bring to Broadway.
I was waiting for someone to guide me, to explain what my path needs to be. Someone kind and understanding, someone to show me me. Many have tried to help me, but it hardly ever made sense. The words would get messed up in my mind. My first response was always defense. It's my fear of the future, the fear of right now, the fear I'm not good enough, or I don't know how. Fear is the trap, it's a lie, a deception. Fears from my past have blocked my perception. It's time to move on. I feel it now, I can feel myself changing. I'm not the same, no need to pretend. When the path gets steep, I'll climb it. When sadness gets deep, I'll redefine it. Now is the time, my time to fly. I see it now, our future is right here waiting, filled with unknowns, but we'll be all right. I'll open my heart, love will find us, follow the flow, and love will guide us. I know what to do, I know what to choose. I say yes, this is how I live my life. I say yes to the fire that's inside me. I say yes to believing the answers are here. They live in my body and speak without fear. This is my moment. I want a world where we all feel that we belong here, where we are safe to be who we are. I'm taking a stand, I believe it. It's time to expand, and I'll achieve it. I know what to do. I know what to choose. I'll say yes when I feel the moonrise guide me. I'll say yes when the wind flows through the trees. I feel wonder in the air. Was it always there? I can hear it, how it calls me, like a prayer inside the air that's everywhere. I say yes, this is how I'll live my life. I say yes to the fire that's inside me. I say yes to believing my heart never lies. Yes to receiving the joy in our lives. This is my moment. It's now crystal clear. It's all here in my hands. I say yes to who I am. I say yes. I say yes. I say yes. I say yes.
Wow.
Can you imagine when that's fully orchestrated and this young woman who you've been rooting for the whole play, who's gone through so much wounds and trauma and losses, and then she realizes that the only way she's going to get out of the trauma and the loss is by saying yes to herself, and everything will be different if she does. And that
Wow.
to say I'm just so grateful to be able to share this musical, because we have a dream that a musical about life, the miracle of life itself, can get to the Broadway stage, and it doesn't have to have a Disney character in it in order for it to be successful. So thank you. Isn't that great for this moment, Clint?
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was so cool, and it's so pertinent because yeah, this character in this play is coming from all this trauma, all these doubts, all this, and then I was just thinking about everyone that is showing up for these calls, everyone that showed up for Sedona or has showed up for any of the miracle experiment games. Like every time you show up for a detox or something, it's like saying yes. I say yes to my life. And especially because in this call, she's saying, all the fears, Dr. He talked about the two greatest obstacles to seeing ourselves or others clearly is fear and ego. And in this particular community, we're saying, yeah, that is a part of us, but that's keeping us from the fullest expression of our soul. And so instead, I want to say yes to life.
Yes.
And so that's the option in this call, is if you want to join this new structure of this community, even though it's still in formation, and I want to actually go into breakout rooms so everyone who can has a chance to share. What would it, when have you really felt like you belonged, and how could we integrate that here in this space so it helps bring out the fullest, yes from everyone that chooses into it. So we'll go into breakout rooms, but I love Gary. That song was perfect for right now. Yes, and I feel like it's each of our story.
Yeah,
Whatever has been the past doesn't have to be the future. And no
Clint,
matter what fears we face, we have this opportunity now to do something different.
Clint, I want to say one more thing. Hope and I were just about to get on the stage to talk about how to assimilate and transmute grief into grace and gratitude. And as those people know in that room, I was completely undone because I thought I was giving unconditionally to this community. And because I wasn't singled out by Dr. Clint, who, I've been on this journey since the very beginning with, I found this little boy that I didn't know was there, that if I didn't get acknowledged by the father projection or the big brother, even though I'm the older guy in this room, that I was completely destroyed egoically. And there I had to pivot in that moment to actually share with how to transform grief to gratitude. And what I wanted to share was what a gift, 𝗬𝗙𝗙𝗧𝗦, that I found this place that was so devastated that I was going to leave. I was going to walk away. I guess I'm wrong. Clint doesn't appreciate my medicine as I thought he did. And I had this whole story. And and then right then and there, I got to see what a gift that I get to understand that giving is its own gift, regardless of who acknowledges you. And I just got closer to understanding what unconditional giving really is. I'm not there yet, but I want you to know I'm closer. And I just wanted to share that was a massive gift for me. And thank you.
Yeah,
so
you gave us a gift too, Gary, and seeing how we can shift that relatively quickly, how deep that was. And also, you know, in the healing, any healing space, especially when our vibration is changing, anything that's less of that, more dense vibration, is going to come to the surface. And so for everyone who's a part of any community in which love is there, and especially this one, you know, we love all of you, and all of you is welcome. And Gary, I want to say all of you is welcome. Shifra, all of you is welcome. And Clint, I just want to say it to myself as well. You know, all of me is welcome. Oh, so fun to create a place where all of me is welcome. It just feels so good.
I love that.
So, you know, this call was announcing a new community structure. And yes, I think we're getting the essence of it. And we want to take everything that we have done that's good, and we want to enhance it. We want to plus it. And so I want everyone to have a chance to share. And so my intention, first of all, maybe Jana or Carol or Cornelia, you could post the link right now in the chat for the application form. I'd say everyone on this call that feels like, yes, I want to say yes to my life, just fill out that form, because it gives us a chance to say, okay, cool, these are the ideas, and this is the gifts, this is the talent. Like, it's like making mung soup. We want all the ingredients, you know, and we want the flavor of you, and understanding what is your gift and your talent that you're bringing to the space. And it's beautiful because it's a priceless experience, but it's without price. You know, it's a choose your own adventure price in which the money goes to help support the orphan kids, but it's not a fixed thing. It's you choose in your heart. And so we're also navigating that space. So my invitation, because man, this call has been so beautiful, and it's so beautiful to anchor in everything we felt in Sedona and beyond, but I want your voice to be heard. And I want to know what it is that you feel would make it so this community is the best possible. So let's do this. Let's go into breakout rooms today, and you can stay for as long as possible. If you need to leave sooner, then just raise your hand and speak first. And maybe someone can take notes. We'll collect all of the ideas and the heartfelt ideas. And then on next Sunday's call, we'll give a summary. And then we'll talk about specifically how we can start implementing those in the months coming. How does that sound? Okay. So Cornelia, if you can get us ready to go in breakout rooms of about 5 or 6. Now, before we go in the breakout rooms, we'll do in beautiful ancient secrets tradition. Everyone can unmute themselves. And Bo, this is for you and for anyone who's newish on the call, or for everyone who's watching this recording. We will have a special message for you. So we'll unmute ourselves, and then I'm going to actually, right before that, in the Hopi reservation here in the Hopi Nation, it's a matriarchal society. It's really beautiful. I'm just with Janice here at her home. We're about to meet with some of the elders, and she created this t-shirt called "Don't Worry, Be Hopi." But I just love it because from this indigenous people in which they honor the feminine is where this call is being broadcast. You know, it feels so good to me. And so just honoring all those parts of you, you know. So anyway, Bo, we're going to put our hands together like this, and you guys can all unmute yourself. In the global healing miracle experiment, we have these words to say to you. I love you.
I love you.
You and I'm with you.
And I'm with you.
I'm with you.
Love you, and I'm with you.
Love you.
Andrea, thank you.
You and I'm with
Everybody
you.
on the guys, everyone.
Amalita.
Oh, making it happen.
Love you and I'm with you.
Clint.
I'm with you. love you, and I'm with you.
Love you, and I'm with
You
you.
and I'm with you.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful,
Clint.
beautiful.
Love you, and I'm with you.
Beautiful, beautiful.
𝗬𝗏𝗯𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏
So beautiful. Thank you so much. So now Cornelia, you can end the Facebook Live and you can end the recording. We're about to go into the breakout rooms where you have a chance to share, what kind of a community would you love to belong to in this space? We're going to collect all those ideas. Make sure you fill out the application. The next Sunday, we'll talk about a summary of these ideas and some of the structure in which we can help really make this alive, a place that we want to belong, a place that we want to be a part of. So Cornelia, thank you so much. And you can end the recording as well.